Hey guys, this is Mark Goldberg from Mark Vlogs Watches. Thank you so much for joining me on this bright blue and green day. Before we move into the meat and potatoes of this video, let's go ahead and get the quick fist watch check out of the way. And here it is. Guys, today I am wearing a beautiful bright green Sunray Hulk. And I'll tell you what, before we get into the full discussion of why you need to buy a Hulk right now if you want one at all, we'll turn this camera around and take a quick look at this watch in the sunlight because it is a thing of beauty. But first, a little bit of introduction, and then we're going to turn this around. We're going to look at its gorgeousness. We're going to talk about the owner experience, and I'm going to tell you why if you want one, you better hurry. You know, here's something that happened to me that I didn't fully expect. Of course, you know, the Hulk is a grail, so I was just thrilled to get it. By the way, thank you to the guys over at James & Son in Orland Park, Illinois. Call Brian if you've got any needs. You know, I can't swear to you that they'll have what you want in stock, but they have helped out several of my subscribers. Guys, what happened was I had this puppy right here. Now, this is called the coffin. This is the shipping container which Rolex uses to send the watch from Switzerland to the authorized dealer here in the United States. Okay, it's called the coffin. And in this is a submariner, ceramic date. It is a modern issue. It is this exact same watch, except for it's in black, which is like the norm for the submariner. And what I'm going to do in the next day or two is I will make a comparison video, but I'm going to give you a peek ahead. I used to wear the heck out of this watch, and I don't put it on anymore. I mean, every once in a while, but very rarely because I am glued. I am stuck on this thing. This is mesmerizing in a way that the black isn't. So, you know, check out my next video when I go ahead and do a comparison. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is I find the Hulk to be a very, very special watch, and the green ceramic bezel and the green sunray dial, which contains gold paint to get that glow that you're going to see in a couple of minutes. Well, all that green and that dynamic movement due to the sunray dial, it just changes the flavor of the watch into something different. This is the icon. Absolutely. This is an iconic watch. And this, well, this is an icon on steroids. You know, here we have the Mona Lisa, and here we have the Mona Lisa with a nose job, or, you know, some sort of augmentation or enhancement, if you catch my drift. It's just something extra. Is it for everybody? No, it's not. Some people just like to melt under the radar and they don't want to wear a watch that sort of like screams to everybody, I'm special. But let's turn the camera around. Let's look at this thing a little bit more thoroughly, and then I'm going to give you some hard, cold reality in terms of why, if you want one, you should hurry. Gentlemen, I sure could use a quick favor. The algorithms for YouTube have changed, and if you'll hit like on this video, it would help me enormously. If you haven't subscribed, please let's do that now so that we can do 2020 together. Thanks for being with me. Guys, I probably don't need to say too much. This is just absolutely mesmerizing. Rolex mixes gold dust into the green paint to get that dynamic sunray dial that you were seeing here. Now, depending on the angle that you turn it, it might almost start to look like a Kermit, where this is green and then the dial is black. And honestly, under like office lighting, fluorescent lighting, the whole thing turns dark. And it looks like just a different shade of black than the normal black submariner. And I will show you that in another video. But let me tell you what, you get out into dynamic sunshine and something happens with this watch that can barely be described. It just needs to be seen. That's why you're looking at it here. Honestly, guys, I have commitment issues with watches. I'm a serial rotator. It is not unusual for me to wear 4 or 5 watches in a day. It's a problem. I work at home. I have access to watches, you know, that are not in the bank, and sometimes I just pull them out and play. It's problematic, honestly. Kills a lot of my day, eats up way too much of my energy. This watch right here, the Hulk, has been something of a cure because I want to wear it more than anything else. And of course, it has that typical beautiful Rolex bezel. I'm going to put it right up. Listen to that sound. Incredible. Well, guys, let's talk about why, if you want one, you had better hurry. There's compelling evidence. Let's pick it apart and talk about it. You know, to state the obvious, we are in the midst of some global economic uncertainty, and that has thrown the Rolex market into a little bit of a tailspin. Not much, but there has been what I would call a minor correction. No bursting of the bubble here, just a small correction. But at this moment, the price for which Rolex Hulk is trading has dipped to, I think, a historic low, not in the entire chronology of pricing for this watch, but for the last several years for sure. And remember, we are facing a time when the Hulk is scheduled to be discontinued according to the best information that we have, maybe even as early as this coming September 2020. But certainly within the next 12 months, Hulk is slated to be discontinued. Now, what that means is the fact that the global uncertainty has depressed pricing a little bit may be your last opportunity to get one before it's discontinued. If and when it's discontinued, its price is going to sharply increase. Let's take a look at a couple of recent sales of Hulks so that you know where they're trading for right now. At a screenshot from the eBay app, all I did was search for the Rolex Hulk, but go into filters and I clicked completed sales, which will show me recent sales. And as you can see, this one sold for $13,700 and that sold on June 7th. Now look at this next one. It sold the 2nd of June for $12,301. You know, so that looks like an auction that finished. Guys, I don't know if this had box, papers, etc. I certainly prefer box papers. You also have to examine condition. If you're buying off of eBay, the first thing you want to do is go get an insurance appraisal on it to be sure that it's authentic, particularly if it comes without papers. Now, while you're looking at this next one, which sold for under $14 also very recently, I want to mention there are some trusted dealers that you don't really have to worry so much about authentication. Trusted dealers include second-hand dealers such as David SW in Florida. Also in Florida, you have a couple of other ones that I know and like, which would include Del Rey Watches, that's Federico and John. You also have CRM Jewelers, they are in the Miami area, and I have had chit-chat with all of these people, find them quite trustworthy. In California, you've got Kenny Nguyen at Jewelers on Time. These guys are also selling at good prices, maybe not quite as good as some of the eBay, but in certain cases, even a little better. Just depends on the age, condition, and so forth. But you ought to be looking right now because the time is right, and it won't be right for long. Guys, take it from someone who owns the black Submariner as well as the Hulk Submariner, there is a difference. When the black one is on my wrist, I feel good. It's like, you know, driving a Lincoln, okay? You just feel good. It's luxury, it's well done, it's made for purpose, its fit and finish is terrific. It's like driving a Lincoln. You feel good. When you're wearing a Hulk, it's like driving a Porsche. It's like the ultimate driving experience. And if you run into another guy with a Hulk, which you barely will, you're going to get the nod. So let me tell you something. Next time I run into you, Bruce Williams, and we're both wearing our Hulks, we're going to do the nod. I understand why Bruce says he's honeymooning with this watch. So am I, but I got to tell you, this is the honeymoon that just doesn't seem to end. You know, do I occasionally throw on another watch just for variety? I do. But the second I can, I get right back into my Hulk because it just feels right. So far, guys, of all the watches I have ever worn or tried, if I had to nominate one Rolex for my one and done, it's this one right here, the Hulk. As I've showed you, there is compelling reason why if you want one, you better hurry, do it now. Join me next time, throw a like on this video, it really helps, and also subscribe to my channel if you've done that. Thanks so much. Let's do this again soon. Goldberg. Peace out.